I don't care what I have to do. But I can't lose another one. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Tonight, the local drum group is going to come and we're going to do the Strong Woman song for healing and perseverance. The hand drums are specific to women or solo singers as a way to reconnect ourselves to our ancestors through song. The beat of the drum represents the heartbeat of the earth. And what you see during drum circle is a connection of song, voice, and the heartbeat and movement as a way of healing. A veteran knows the balance of life and death because most veterans have had to cross that line. And our Creator says nobody has the right to take another life or to spill blood. So the veterans have a specific role during the healing drum ceremonies to dance around the drum, to protect the drum, to make sure that the drum is used for peace and no more war. When I met my husband, we were both working around Fort Campbell. A Iraq War vet. He had considerable struggle and could never find his place. It was scary. It was hard. You feel obligated to take care of each other because that's all you got. Nobody understood the pain, the mental pain. Nobody understood like what it's like to come home and not fit or belong anywhere. I knew in Christmas of 2010 that we were in trouble, and we made our final trip to North Carolina to the beach. He was sitting out on the beach dressed in all black, just watching the water. And I walked out to him and I sat down, asked him if he was okay. And he said, "What scares me about the water is that it's so big and so powerful. My problems are nothing. The water could take me today." We drove back, all the way back to Illinois. He had quite a few episodes where he'd sit and just cry. And I had gone to work. My neighbor had called and said, "You need to come home. He's not doing well." He tried to die suicide by cop. So he went out, he committed a crime, went back to the house. Law enforcement was there. And he was locked in a bedroom with his medals sitting on the bed. We were able to get to him. And he just told me, "I love you and I'm sorry. I'm not gonna hurt you. I don't ever wanna hurt you. And please forgive me." And he shot himself. And you see a lot of tragic things in life, but the thing that changed me about that, I had no control of what was happening in my life or his life. I couldn't stop it. I I couldn't reverse it. I couldn't do anything. You go through that, and to watch somebody slip away that fast, there's nothing you can do. You can't beg them. You can't do anything but watch. That changed me for the rest of my life. Anin, nin nanandawiyakwe, indigenakas, gawaba pikaganak, indudem, maingen indujaba. My childhood was an adventure. I grew up on a very small farm in the middle of the White Earth Reservation. The White Earth Indian Reservation is a government-initiated land for the Anishinaabe or the Ojibwe people. White Earth has a long history of poverty, struggling with different things like addictions. But it is a small hometown community. People still take care of each other here, and the majority of the people still live off the land. The women in our family are kind of like best friends, aren't we? Kind of like best friends.
And you taught us how to be tough.
I don't think you realize how important you are.
No. I'm thankful I wake up every morning.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're still collecting junk to this day, aren't we?
And she throws it away.
We collect
all of
it,
it.
she throws it away. My grandfather was the most important man ever in my life. He taught me what it meant to live with humility. He taught me how to never judge and to take care of people. He didn't give those things in like verbal lessons. We watched him through his actions. These are Grandpa's service cards. I hung on to those. That's kind of what's drove me all the years trying to live up to his legacy of being a veteran. He was always so proud to be part of 1st Marine Division. I joined the Army for 2 reasons. One, it was to make him proud, follow in his footsteps, and be worthy, of my grandfather's work in his life. But the other one is because I couldn't afford to go to college, and it was a way for me to go to college. So I signed up for the United States Army. I was a 67 uniform, cargo helicopter mechanic, crew chief, and then door gunner. And when I joined the Army, his exact words were, go and make something of yourself and don't come back until you do. Because you don't want to become part of a system where you're just stuck in a cycle of poverty and there's really nothing for you to do here. The Army taught me so many different things. Where I learned community and family at home, the Army taught me a different type of community. It wasn't a community for, everyday life. It was a community of survival. One of the other major components that the Army taught me, there's a purpose in everything you do. Everything from scrubbing down a bolt on a helicopter, to flying, to logging flight hours, even standing in formation, your uniform is straight. There's a purpose for everything that you do. The transition back was extremely difficult because you're used to living with that purpose, that job every day. I had to learn a whole nother set of skills, and it wasn't over a period of time. It was you learn them now or you fail. And I really struggled when I got out. My problems are nothing. The water could take me today. I don't ever want to hurt you. I love you and I'm sorry. The pain was so much. And it feels like a sense of my reality was stolen from me. You don't know what's real anymore. If something like that can happen in front of you and you can't control it, what's real anymore? I left everything. I had to walk away from all of it. I walked away from our pictures, which I regret sometimes. I had a World War II vet named Alan Simpson, and he's passed on now. I remember just needing to go see somebody, and I went to see Alan. And after talking about everything, he said, you can either go back to school and figure out a way to fix these guys and gals, to fix yourself, or he said, you're going to be a victim of the system too. And he goes, I'm not going to let you be a victim of the system. I had already had my master's degree, and I've heard stories, about if you want to socially isolate yourself, get a doctorate, because that's going to be the biggest, hardest journey, the most isolating journey of your life. I didn't want to be a number in a classroom, and I don't really know what I was looking for. And I come across National University. That's what started my journey. When I first met my dissertation chair and my team, one of the questions was, what are you looking for? I didn't know the answer. I just know I needed to heal. I needed to be pulled away from society so I could focus again. I find it ironic that I went into education, curriculum instruction, and teaching, but that my dissertation chair specialized in military trauma and psychology. This doesn't just happen for a reason, right? He was instrumental in keeping me balanced and keeping me focused and teaching me to be kind to myself when I just wanted to rip everything up and quit, and kept that drive going forward. Like, you're gonna get to the answer of why, but you have to go through these steps, and kept it professional, but it kept it safe as well. So it definitely was a journey. I battled with myself quite a bit and should I even continue this? And he always gave me enough space to process, but gave me enough feedback to keep me intrigued and want to keep going. And I really had great mentors that said, with this degree, what are you planning to give back to your community? You've got all this knowledge and research. What is the end result? And then it came back to my husband. I studied the Aboriginal tribes, I studied Japan, Buddhism, I studied every culture I could find on how they took care of people traditionally without putting people in a box or assigning a label to somebody. What was the old way? I came across environmental psychology and conditioning of the environment, and how the brain is synchronous to music and patterns and balance and things like that. And I looked at how they train the brain for space, brain speeds, things like that. And I put a movement algorithm together with sensory deprivation that forces the brain to literally rewire itself when all the senses are removed. And that's how I built the max rhythmic motion therapy. 6, 7, 8, rotate. Okay, Darce, we're going to the first chair. So I built that into a therapy program, and I initially tried it on the ground. Go backwards. And it took off. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rotate. That drove my passion for figuring this out, and I have a love of horses. So I had a little quarter horse of my own. And I taught him to do the 360 spins. I taught him to do a slow catwalk where he puts his nose on the ground and the rider faces backwards. They have no sensory. We remove their hearing, we remove their sight. When we started using the horses, I started getting faster results, and pretty soon people were coming from all over the place because it was controlling Parkinsonism. We could get rid of tremors. We get rid of night terrors in a week for vets with no medication. And hold, now walk normal. But when I started seeing what it was doing for families, and I started seeing relatives sitting up on the stage watching their relatives going through this and watching them see the miracles that were happening to their loved ones, I knew that was my purpose. Feel like you're floating. Yep. That means the brain has disengaged. Okay, and stop. I couldn't help anybody. I couldn't help my husband anymore, but I could take everything I learned from trauma, everything I learned from my education, built it into a beautiful MRMS program, and within 3 years we served over 10,000 people so far, and we're still growing. That's giving back to the community. Healing, and if people couldn't afford it, we never charged them. Never charged them a dime for it. Eagle's Healing Nest is a support center for veterans that are struggling. Veterans have a place to live there as long as they need. Yeah, there's a lot of memories here too. Watching people succeed and watching people grow, and the most important thing is watching people heal. And the MRMS program fit because we don't put people in boxes. We follow their line of what it means to take care of each other, utilizing and teaching them to use the skills that we were trained on how to get back to a normal life without having to change who they are or reprogram them. We teach them to convert the skills they have into something healthy.
And they say around here, in order to keep what you've earned, you have to give it away.
Yep.
So you just keep giving it away. You can't give what you got away, but you can give away what you learned and the process of it all, because it is a process, and there is no process without pain. You got to go through the swamp. All this pain and this anger that I've been feeding off of for years just was like out.
Mel had a way of doing that to us, didn't she?
She did.
But I couldn't be more proud of you.
She did.
You know that?
Thank you. Who is this bunch here?
So this is Joe, Afghanistan vets, brought with.
My name is Joe Tewksbury, and I served in the military, U.S. Army, as an M1 armored crewman or main battle tank from 2003 to 2013. Came back, and it was a struggle. It was a real struggle coming back. Jumped quite a few different jobs, couldn't fit in. I got to the point where I jumped on my bike and I said, you know what? I'm gonna hit the highway. You know, I was gonna get on the open road, and the first semi that came the other way, I was just gonna veer over. Right before I saw a semi coming, and I'd say about a quarter mile before then, I saw a little sign for a veterans ranch, and I just, instead of turning the semi, I just kept going, turned around and went into the ranch, and that's where I met Tracy. I felt at home. I felt like I had somebody that knew my struggle, that wasn't just checking the box. Tracy did save my life. If it wasn't for her, I definitely would not be here.
I will fight till I'm dead in the ground. I can't lose another one. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care where I have to go to pick them up. I don't care what I have to say to convince them that their life is worth living, that they have something to contribute. I don't care what I have to do. I'm not losing another one. Not on my watch. I don't care if I have to go back and get another education, whatever I have to do to get the tools in their hands to convince them that they have the skills, that they're loved by people. I don't care what I have to do. And that's not just for vets, it's for people. That's who I am. dad to your two beautiful girls.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Okay.
I got you to thank for that.
There's no greater satisfaction. It's not about money. It's not about the title. It's about watching a human life thrive in a cruel world. They come to me like a lit match, and all it takes is a gust of wind and they're gone. And I gotta be whatever keeps feeding that fire to keep them going. And that is why I got my degree. Because if I didn't continue on for myself to get those resources, I wouldn't be here either.
There's no goal or finish line or vaccine you can take to get out of healing. It's a lifelong endeavor. And that feeling of safety is really compounded when you see other veterans coming down here.
Coming down here, people are like, why do you do this? I mean, this is coming out of our own pocket to do these kind of things. And it's like, because if you can save one veteran, and I had a veteran come up to me the other day and he said, because of the speech that you had given the other day, I didn't commit suicide that night. I was going to kill myself after that meeting. And that's why we do it. It's to take care of those veterans.
I'm home. I got veterans, I have recovery, and I have nature. Those are the three things I need.
I appreciate you doing this.
She's the inspiration.
Oh gosh, I'm very proud of my daughter. She's gotten me through some things too, and she's very strong. I mean, for what you went through growing up too, you did wonderful. I couldn't be more proud of you.
Thank you, Mom.
You did it on your own.
Yeah.
There's a huge responsibility that's on my shoulders now. It's not sitting in an office teaching a class. It's somebody is divulging their whole trauma history to me, and I have to carry that weight for them. And that's why I really honed in on my own culture, the Ojibwe culture, because there is a teaching for healers of how to release that energy back into the environment without carrying that weight. And the pipe helps with that, being a pipe carrier. The pipe's role in most Indigenous communities is to bring people to pray together and to heal together. This was a veteran's pipe that came with specific instructions for the next veteran that it came across. A pipe typically doesn't belong to anybody. The teaching is that the pipe chooses where it goes next. That it could be with us for a very long time, or it'll tell us where it's supposed to go next. I think walking through my life and looking at everything that I've learned from my grandparents, my mom, from the military, from my education journey to the people that work with me in the clinic, I don't want to be known for a title. I want to be known for what I contributed in helping people heal. I want to be known for teaching a whole new generation of people how to heal without boundaries. But I also want to be known for perseverance, that no matter where you come from, no matter your background, if you're impoverished, if you're living in a car, if you're a veteran, if you're a single mom, single dad, if you're a widow, all of these things, that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to, with a little perseverance. And if I can do it, and you can overcome those hurdles, anybody can do it. That's what I want to be known for. What did I give back to my community? That's my legacy.